We're back! Welcome to another season and another episode of Branding Bloopers, a series where we have open, transparent conversations about the mistakes we make while building our brands so that we could help others avoid the same mistakes that we made. My name is Marissa, founder of To Be Caribbean, and I need your help to win a bet. I know, I've been MIA for months, pop back up, and I'm asking for favors. Really? But I promise you, it is for a good cause. So, the bet on the table is from my mentor, and he does not think that I will complete 4 of these videos by the end of this year. And if I win the bet, then actually, let me save the compensation for the end of the video because it needs some context. So, my mentor is someone I love dearly. He pours into me regularly. He wants to see me win. And he knows how much I treasure honesty, so he always delivers his messages very raw to me. So he called me to lunch recently and he was like, Marissa, what are you doing? I see no new content on your website. Your social media presence is very inconsistent. Like, you're killing your brand. What are you doing? You know? It's like, okay, dude. No, but I shared with him what was happening with me, give or take a few details. General premise is it's a challenging time. Outside of the pandemic, there's a lot of loss and tragedy that is happening on a regular basis. And for me, these are people who have helped shape my life. So I need the time to process their loss in the physical, And authenticity is one of my core values. So I'm not about to be posting on social media that life is great when it doesn't feel like it, or pouring into content that doesn't feel genuine. I just won't post. And I look at him expecting some kind of reaction, mostly empathy. And he has this very dry expression on his face. And he says, nobody cares. So people who know me know at this point there was some choice words circling, getting ready to come out my mouth, because when I'm angry, I have a hot mouth and things that should stay in my head tend to come out. But I'm trying to be a better person in 2021, right? So I just smiled and I said to him, you're right. Because I've been working in media and entertainment for a long time. Long enough to know that, most relationships are built on the premise of, what can you do for me? And if you can't do nothing for me, you are not relevant, So I get it. I get the general concept, right? And he laughed and he's like, that's a bit extreme, but I'm going to share something with you that I think you need to remember while building your brand. So I lean in, listening intently, and he says, at the very core, most people, most human beings, not maliciously, are very selfish. So they interact with people who are outside of their inner circle based on what they do for them. So if you don't edify them in some way, educate them, make them laugh, or just solve a problem for them, you're not relevant. And they will move on to somebody who does those things for them. So while building your brand, it has to be so much deeper than the reactions from other people or from the emotions swirling in your little world at any point in time. It has to be about a very deep meaning and purpose, about what change you want to see in the world. And when you figure that out, you're building a strong brand house. And I was like, wow, it's pretty deep. And then he says to me, he's like, don't answer me now. He's like, I need you to figure out if you want to move forward with this brand. After you do that exercise, figure out if you want to move forward with this brand. If you do, you need to show up. Figure out the frequency that works for you, but you need to show up. And if you can't do that, quit. Because you're wasting your time and you're wasting others' time. I was like, damn, dude, way to drop it raw. But he was right. And, I listened to him, I processed it. And of course, at that point, he issues his challenge because he knows me. And he knows when he says, I cannot do something, that's when I will find a way to make it happen. So that's when he issues the challenge, the bet about the videos, right? So I processed what he said, took the time to really assess the why for To Be Caribbean. And it took me back to that place when I was working backstage at different events throughout the US. And the Caribbean talent will always be jibbed of their value because nobody knew who they were. And it used to get me so upset. And I promised myself that I was going to find a way to make Caribbean creatives globally competitive so they would be fairly compensated. And that was the genesis of this whole brand. And it was a fire burning inside of me that died along the way because this brand has seen many revolutions and evolutions, and me trying to fit into spaces thinking that that's what people outside of me wanted. But every time I tried to do what I thought other people wanted, I got further away from what I wanted to create, and doing that exercise brought me back to that space of why did I start? So that's the challenge for this episode of Branding Bloopers. For anybody who this message resonates with, I challenge you to spend some time figuring out your why and make sure it's deep and meaningful, because that's what's going to sustain you through the difficult times, not only during a pandemic, through not having money, through backstabbing, all the issues that come with being alive and creating something on this earth, And I know, like for me, as I listen to my mentor and I'm doing my exercise, the universe always sends you what you need when you need it, right? So I meet this young man who is extremely passionate about his brand, almost annoying. But his passion really inspired me, really motivated me. I'm going to share his video. I did an interview with him because I thought that he had so many insights that us as Caribbean creatives could benefit from. So that's coming. Keep it locked. But I do challenge you to figure out your why. There's a saying that goes, when you know the why, the how becomes easy. And that is what we're building our brand house from together. Learn from my mistake, figure out your why, and let's build together globally competitive brands that are fairly compensated. So yeah, this was another episode of Branding Bloopers, season 2, 3, let's go with 2. My name is Marissa, founder of To Be Caribbean. Lots more fun stuff in store, so keep it locked. And yeah, I have 3 more videos to go, so please keep me accountable. Thanks for listening.